Hello, everyone. I am Kelly Adkins, your host of Hayden Films Talks. And today I'm joined by two influential women to talk about their involvement in the 10th Annual Whistleblower Summit and Film Festival this upcoming July. Welcome, Marsha Warfield and Tara Renee. It's an honor to be in both of your presence today.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, I am just as honored to be in your presence, ladies. All right, in just a few moments, I will be able to sit down with both of these successful women one-on-one, so stay tuned for more. Hi, Marsha. Thank you so much again for joining us today.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us. You have an extensive influence within the entertainment industry and a knack for using your comedic skills to discuss and promote some pretty serious topics while you do it. Tell us a little bit about your passion for comedy and advocacy.
I've always been very aware of imagery and how much it matters and representation matters, and that having the privilege of being able to speak to lots of people comes with a responsibility to make sure you have something to say. And so I try very hard to not waste people's time and not try to insult them with this nowadays very common phrase, "It's just a joke." It's never been just a joke. As a Black performer, especially, jokes have always been political, and there's always been a lot of baggage around being able to perform. And so the steps that people had to take to get to the point where our points of view were listened to, the traditions of the Dick Gregorys and the Pryors and the Carlins and all of those people. I often say even the Smothers Brothers, these people made a big political difference in how we look at things. And so it's my job to hold the mirror up to society and say, "This is you." And hopefully people see themselves and I make sense.
Yeah, self-reflection and paying homage to everyone else who came prior to you. That's actually an excellent point you bring up, especially because this year's Summit and Film Festival being the 10th annual one and 50 years since the Watergate break-in, the theme is does the truth still matter? And in other words, it's supposed to be marking what's the point of the history of whistleblowing and continuing and supporting, encouraging them. So what's your take on this year's theme? Do you think that the truth still matters?
I think the truth still matters, but I don't know that we know how to recognize the truth. You know, we're a country that's not founded in truth, that's founded in the lie of equality, that's founded and has preserved many untruths and promoted. So, and it reached ahead with the last presidency where we were told that everything was a lie and you could only trust him. And so that we have factions of information that all claim to be telling the truth, but some of it just doesn't make sense. And it's getting hard for people to tell the difference. And I like to tell them that if you have an extensive education, if you know a lot, all those things, your education is complete unless you know some old people. Because older people, you know, we've seen a lot. We might not be smarter than you, but we've seen more than you, and can provide a context that's missing from our soundbite mentality and culture. So hopefully we can add a little context to the conversation, make people understand why things are important and why it's important to figure out what's true and what's not.
Absolutely. And I think that you kind of touched upon this earlier as well, that comedy can also be a very truth-telling medium in terms of advocacy and talking about historical concepts and all of that. What do you hope to get out of being the celebrity host for the comedy show today?
I want to do my best to facilitate the celebration and acknowledgement of people's bravery and courage. We have a very strange definition of courage. We think it involves fighting and guns and things, but standing up. There's a reason why public speaking is the most scary thing most people can name. Standing up and standing for what you believe is not easy. And I was fortunate enough to have a mother who said, if you're bold enough to do a thing, be woman enough to stand up and admit it. And so to have people who have similar courage, but even more real courage, where the repercussions are much more serious than I face. I mean, the most people are going to do is walk out or ignore me or, boo. But these people have faced some very serious consequences and have paid a price for speaking out and speaking up. And so I think they deserve to be acknowledged.
Yes, it deserves to be acknowledged for sure. And that's why I had the honor of talking with both Michael McRae and Marcel Reed, the co-founders of the Whistleblower Summit and Film Festival. And they said that that's why it's so crucial to be held in Whistleblower Month, was to really pay, again, homage to these individuals who have gone with these repercussions. So how do you believe that this comedy show will also help not only diffuse some of the tension, maybe per se, but also, again, just pay tribute to some of those names that you mentioned prior?
I think as far as I understand, it's more about the acknowledgement of people who have stood up, and with awareness comes acceptance, and other people might find courage, might find a reason to tell a truth that so far is being unsaid or not being highlighted. But if everything is done in the dark and people don't know, then their courage is not acknowledged or inflamed. And so I think anytime we can celebrate the past and look to the future, that's what we should do. And this is an opportunity to do both.
I like that you said, nothing can really be accomplished in the dark. You have to have that courage. And that's something that you really do live by with your platform, Marcia. So what do you have as some words of wisdom for people who want to use their platform and their voice to bring all of this awareness and courage to others?
I think you have to understand that your voice matters. No matter who you are, no matter where you are, your voice matters. And if there's a storm coming, if there's some big catastrophe about to happen, we really don't care who you are, what you look like, whether you did your hair, any of those things. We need the information so that we can make good choices. And so your voice and anybody's voice, your perspective, your vantage point might be a little higher. You're up on the 22nd floor. You can see a little further than I can down here on the ground. So just because your voice shakes or you're a little squeaky and it's okay. Say it. Let it out. We need that. We need you. You are important.
Wow, that is absolutely motivational right there, Marcia. And I know that you, even just being the celebrity host, there must be much more words that are going to be imparted onto this generation, and also everyone who will be in attendance to that correspondent dinner and comedy show. So I know that we are all looking forward to it. And thank you again for having the time to take to us today. And we look forward to seeing you then.
I can't wait. Thank you so much. And it's not my job to shine. It's my job to highlight the people who do shine. And so I hope I can do that in a manner that serves them and honors them for their contributions and, like I said, their courage and bravery.
Well, just with that statement alone, it seems like you will absolutely be doing that. Thank you again, Marcia, for joining us
I
today.
hope to. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Welcome back to Hayden Films Talks. I'm here with Tara Renee. How are you doing today, Tara? It's good to see you.
I'm doing great, Kelly. Thank you so much again for having me here.
Of course, it's an honor. Now, Tara, you are an inspirer first and foremost. I mean, not only are you the founder of the African American Women in Cinema organization, but you also successfully served as president for the past 24 years, and you've accomplished some invaluable representation for African American women in the industry while doing so. Tell us a little bit about this work and some of your accomplishments.
Oh, wow. Woo, okay. You know, it's amazing, Kelly, because it truly did not start out that way. I was very, very young when I got the call, as some people would say in the industry, the entertainment. I got bit by the entertainment bug. But when I got bit, I did not know specifically what I really wanted to do or felt that I should be doing. But it was when I received a call from a casting director who was hired by a major motion picture company. They were looking for a tall African-American actress who was not a size 0 for under 5 role and for this part. So when I got to the audition site and opened the door and saw about 1,000 women who fit the bill, I was in shock. And that's when I realized the lack of opportunities and the advocacy just rose up in me. And hence, many moons later, African American Woman in Cinema was born. It was only supposed to be a one-time event, but when it was launched and just saw so many women who identified with that scenario showed up, I said, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And it was an amazing journey starting out, seeing so many talented storytellers who really idea was not fortunate to, see the light of day until we created a space for them to make that happen. So that brings me inspiration. And as the founder, I remained the president and continued out through these decades of providing that platform for these talented women, filmmakers of color.
Yes, and that platform, again, is just something that is so crucial. And it's interesting to me that you said bit by the entertainment bug, because when I had the opportunity to talk with the co-founder of the Whistleblower Summit, Michael McRae, he actually said he got hit by the whistleblower bus. So it's kind of similar analogies right there.
Yeah, you do get hit or bit. Something happened to you.
And it's interesting that you said you had created this out of an opportunity that you didn't even know would be annual yet. And then you realized that the platform was there and the advocacy was needed. Again, when I talked to Michael and also the co-founder, Marcel Reed, they said that they shared this passion for film, but they didn't realize that much like the need for comedy and satire and whistleblowing, film was something essential in opening people's minds and perceptions. So tell us a little bit about what your involvement will be at the summit and the film festival this year and what you hope to accomplish with it.
Oh, well, I'm very pleased to inform the audience that I am serving as the president of Jurors. This is a very incredible and honorable capacity to take at any film festival, but certainly at the Whistleblower Film Festival, because I get to just bring in and oversee jurors who will be looking at the incredible work that have been turned in from whistleblowers who were able to tell their stories in film. It's an awesome responsibility. So I'll be serving as the president of Jurors, and certainly will be on hand at the festival and being a great supportive of these whistleblowers who have come to share their story with the audience.
That is absolutely great. It sounds like the president role is just really in your blood. You have the leadership there.
It's amazing, Kelly. I've come from a long line of leaders, and someone sent me the other day that a family member back in the 1800s was actually a leader in just fighting against or fighting for civil rights. So it's in my DNA.
Yes. And so it's funny that you mentioned that, because history is a huge concept, not only a part of the Whistleblower Summit and Film Festival, but also the actual 10th annual one this year, because it marks 50 years since the Watergate break-in. And that's what ended up influencing this theme, which was the question, does the truth still matter? So what do you take about the question, what does the truth still matter?
Yes, the truth still matter. I mean, it's amazing what we're experiencing now in our nation, where it feels like the truth have to fight against a lie. But like Dr. King said, even if it's crushed to the ground, it will rise up again. And, truth is a powerful element that will never erode. It just brings freedom with it. And it's something that needs to continue to exist and not be captivated by a short-lived lie. Lie does not have a long lifespan at all.
The relevancy, I think, of this summit is something that Marsha was also speaking of, that the truth does still matter. And in the present day, there's a lot of truths that people are calling into question or really need to hold ground with. So do you think that with the present day that there's going to be some sort of homage to the people who, like you just mentioned, who have done the groundbreaking efforts to get us here 50 years later?
Yes, absolutely. The civil rights movement had whistleblowers because they were sharing with the nation what was going on with a race of people who just basically wanted to have a way of life, and media was used for the whole world to see what they were whistleblowing about. So yes, this is relevant, and certainly appreciate Marcel and Michael for bringing this to the forefront and being a voice for the voiceless in these days and times, providing them a platform so they can be seen and heard and be able to share with the whole world as well.
The Civil Rights Act, that's actually something that, again, we talked in our last episode of this podcast with Michael and Marcel, because they were going over what is a whistleblower and why it's still important today. So for any viewers out there right now watching, if you want to explore the history of whistleblowing as you know it now and how it started, be sure to watch that original episode. But with that being said, Tara, is there anything else that you might want to say for parting words for our viewers and anyone who might be excited for the summit this year?
Oh, yes. I want to encourage you all to come to the summit in celebration of the 10th anniversary. Support means the world to not only the folks who are sharing their stories, but also to the organizer. This is not an easy feat to put on, and this is a platform that is so needed now more than ever. And so we would love to see you there. Celebrating this 10th anniversary and hearing the stories that will be shared during this historical time. So thank you so much again. Really appreciate it, Kelly.
Of course. Thank you so much for joining us again, Tara.
It is truly my pleasure. Pleasure to be here.
For all of our viewers out there, just as Tara said, you said it even better than I could have, be sure to attend the 10th Annual Whistleblower Summit and Film Festival that is taking place during the month of July, which is actually Whistleblowers Month. And so if you would like to attend, please feel free to mark those dates, July 22 to July 31, and visit whistleblowersummit.com to get your passes. We hope to see you there.